safety. Thank you to the art committee headed by Jim Roop and his best partner ever, DJ Roop. Social committee, that's not appropriate. I'm sorry, it's not. It's the fun team. There is no doubt about it. Chaired, not only chaired, but subbed as a social director this year is Linda Matthew. Phenomenal, phenomenal leadership and job that she has done.
Excuse me, apparently there's no sound going out from you.
Please sit down for a minute. Sound is not.
I have to be quiet for a
Sound is
minute.
not getting out.
Okay.
We can say whatever we want, right? And get away with it? Is that the deal?
I know, but he was probably texting me, I shut my phone off.
Mine's been going off too, but no sound, no sound.
Well, I'm sorry the whole community didn't get to hear all of that because it deserves. I'm not going to repeat it just because, you know, we can't be here till 3 o'clock today. But these are things that need to be said and heard by all. Okay?
We're good to go.
Oh, we're good to go. All right, I think we're back on appreciation of our fun committee, the fun team, led by Linda Matthew, and how she has stepped up and subbed to make sure communications and activities, even under the veil of COVID, have gone on safely and without a hitch. And serving with her is Erica Wheeler, Nancy Collins, Billy Ross, our treasurer, Luana Woodworth, Kathy Lemons, Carol Gorell, and Susie Smith. What a dynamic, fun team we have. Now, for our audio visual, I'm sure those of you out in video land today will challenge this, but I'm telling you, between Tom Nolan, Charlie Lawrence, Barry Lemons, and Marshall Putt, and soon, where's Bill? Is Bill here? It's been a challenge. We have some technical problems from now and then, but here's the good news. It's in the budget to repair all this and get a final resolve on it. So thank you, gentlemen. Now our facilities committee. Steve Nicoli, Frank Malera, Tom Taylor. These three have repeatedly taken on the challenge directed by me or David to go out and seek out bids on potential projects that we're going to have, give great advice. It's an incredibly but much needed group. And the newest addition on our committees is the grounds committee, which is overseen by David Blauer and headed up by John McCormick and Bob Lukes. What they've accomplished this year was never accomplished ever in the history of Cypress Woods. And I'll get into that in a little bit. And then we have Neighborhood Watch. DJ and Jim Roop, again, stepping up for the safety and the health of this community, of which we hope to support electronically and technically in the future by improved security services. The gate greeters, holy cow. That is the reflection of the Cypress Woods personality. You know, Tim Dexter isn't here today. Notice how much, or this year, because have you noticed how much quieter it is in the community? I'm sure he's listening, but he passed the baton to Jeannie Lutz this year, and she has done a phenomenal job. But, you know, we have over 100 gate greeters that stepped up and have made sure that we still have that smile and that wave at the front gate. And last but definitely not least, our refresh committee. I can't say enough for Kathy Orris, Bev Mango, Joanne Landry, Judy Nolan, Laura Iaconis, Cheryl Lawrence, Linda Fry, and Diane Leffler. They make it pretty. They make it fresh, and they make it bright. And you're sitting in the room today. My heartfelt thank you to this entire group of owners, residents, who have stepped up and made this community as good as it gets. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so there's the much due thanks. And what I'd like to do now is just give you an overview of what 2020 accomplished. You know, no one has to be reminded of the enormous impact that COVID has brought upon this world, this nation, and each of us here in Cypress Woods. But we have weathered this deadly storm with very little serious health concerns and respecting each other by embracing the CDC guidelines and warnings. But you know what? Along with this, we've had remarkable success in our continuing journey from the independence we achieved in 2015 when we became a self-governing community. Many of our current and soon-to-be appointed board members have served you since that memorable date. So allow me to recap 2020 and highlight the major achievements. Financially, we have operated strongly in the black with back-to-back years of year-end cash surplus that has enabled us to repair, replace, and refresh our worn-out buildings and poor quality and under-maintained infrastructure. A very modest quarterly fee was adopted this year, but it will ensure we keep the trajectory of high standards. And again, management and staff. We have a highly dedicated staff with experience and knowledge, led by a manager that is a strong resource of 720 HOA law and who continues to grow in his position and embrace the vision and well-being of the community and the residents. Governing. So, our rules and regs were rewritten, approved, and now enforced to reflect the ever-changing needs of our residents and our community. They reflect the lifestyles and demographics of the future of Cypress Woods. In 2021, our entire governing documents will be rewritten to meld both Cypress Woods and Laguna Caribe. Our new logo reflects our future that is fresh, it's new and bright, and our independence from the early years. Communication. Monthly HOA board newsletters, management email blast, Cypress Woods Board Facebook, social committee Facebook, and monthly newsletters have been the lifeline of communication this year, especially with COVID. Our HOA meetings and the audio issues on Zoom and YouTube have been a tremendous frustration, but we are going to get a better resolve. It's in the budget. So, here's a recap of some of the projects that we all accomplished together. First of all, the town center pool, not only resurfacing, but coping, entire equipment, shower towers and loungers, fire pit tables, replaced welcome center windows, welcome center laundry access door locks, street lighting at ACD four-way stop intersection, D-Lake fountain and aeration replacements and install. Town center, total refresh with paint, lighting, stage curtains, window blinds. Replaced our main water backflow valve and partnered with Laguna Caribe for improved pressure and volume of potable water. Resurfacing of our much-used shuffle courts. Hiring of engineers to determine a potable water remapping of Cypress Woods in order to repair, replace substandard and failing infrastructure. Install of main entrance keypad access system with video scheduled in the next 2 weeks. 100% resident donation funding of the Cypress Woods Memorial Garden expansion and beautification. This totals over $152,000 with no special assessments, no loans, all paid from mostly operating and a very small portion from our reserves. Maintenance. We've created a preventive maintenance program, documented, to conduct quarterly assessments and become proactive, not reactive. We've scheduled annual property inspections provided by our First Service Residential to identify areas that need attention. And we renegotiated maintenance contracts with not only improved service, but the specifics of that service, the frequency of that service, and the accountability for non-service. Pointing directly to Newell, who is our landscape provider, Arrow, who handles our fertilization and pest control, and finally, a maintenance contract with B&I for HVAC service. Laguna Caribe. Due to COVID, county permitting and zoning, there was nearly a 1-year delay in their anticipated groundbreaking. They have recently received the final green light go, and their 137 lot development in East Section will begin. They've created a truck route through our storage area that will help reduce the usual construction noise, dirt, and road damage within our community. They'll be leasing a sales office in our Welcome Center office to begin their marketing and lot sales. It is truly exciting for them and our soon-to-be new neighbors who will be joining our beautiful community. So what are our challenges for 2021? Well, it's been a year of discovery as it pertains to our 20-year-old infrastructure of not only potable water, irrigation, and sewer lines, as well as our water management and runoff deficiencies. As we know, these are key components of our basic needs, and to repair and replace these will not be an easy undertaking, both with construction and financially. But it is an inevitable, and the board will be strategizing with professionals for the best options and solutions. We are also faced with the task of relocating and building a maintenance area that will accommodate our needs, especially with an extra 137 lots and common areas. We have limited options due to utilities and code restrictions, as explained by the engineers. So we will need our residents' understanding with these tough decisions. So now, on a very, very personal note, my 2 terms end with the adjournment of this annual meeting. The thing that has enlightened me the most is the difference of serving on a corporate board versus community HOA boards. In the corporate setting, we answer to stockholders and CEOs, using the appropriate etiquette and respect. But on a community HOA, we must listen to our residents. We must abide by strict state and HOA laws and understand that every decision we make reflects on the money that you have invested in your Florida community. The board must make decisions that will ensure the safety, the health, and the overall investment that each of you have made. It is inevitable that there will never be 100% support from the community on the decisions as well as the criticism, sometimes quite severe, that always follows. The biggest enemy of any board is the ongoing rumor mill, and those that choose to take it as truth instead of asking the management or the board for clarification. So friends, please, just ask. We want you to know the facts, the truth, and hopefully it will make you feel just a little bit better, even though you may not agree. I'm going to quote something that a dear, dear friend of mine just wrote. February, from the Latin word febrarius, meaning to purify. February was known as the month of purification, coming just after January, the month of new beginnings. It is a transitional time, finding itself just after a month of reflection and the New Year's resolutions. So, let us welcome February with our new beginnings, with our new HOA board, and the unselfish choice that these people have made to help lead us into the future in the best way possible. So in closing, I hope to take a few months off and enjoy the beauty of Cypress Woods, my friends, and my amazing husband. But property management is who I am, and my passion to serve and lead is something that never leaves me. I pledge my support to this new board and the very difficult decisions that lie ahead in 2021. Friends, you are in very good hands, and I most definitely, you are in the right place, because Cypress Woods is family. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Next on the agenda, Mr. Pat, you have some numbers and things to share with us.
Okay, if you look up at the screen, you'll see that we ended up with a pretty good cash position at the end of the year, $479,000, $479,572, and in that total is a reserve funding of $195,579. We had a total revenue increase for the year of $39,100, which was better than ending with a shortfall. The main drivers, we had quite a few late fees, $2,950 in late fees and $1,853 in interest. We'd rather you pay on time, but we appreciate the extra income. We had 47 lots sell last year, and that brought in $23,000. And I handle the rental and sales list on the web, and the lots are flying out of there. I can't believe it. Every week I'm taking off 2 and 3 and maybe putting on 1. So
And very good prices too, right?
Prices are going up, exactly. Our expenses, we came in under budget and planned in 7 categories for like $57,000, even though we did a lot of projects and we had a lot of unexpected expenses. So all in all, we're going to end up with a pretty good position, pretty good cash position for going into this year, and hopefully we can end up with a better surplus next year.
Isn't that a relief? Can't we all remember back when we didn't know if we could even afford to pay the bills or if they were getting paid? So it's quite a new generation, no doubt about it.
I can remember when we took over in 2013, we were on COD with a lot of vendors. And,
Absolutely.
We managed to talk a lot of vendors even then to do some projects in December and pay them in January. But we paid them all off, and we got a pretty good record, I think, out there now, financial end.
It certainly is a whole different situation. So, all right, Pat, thank you so much. And what I'd like to invite to the microphone now is Linda Matthew, who is our chairman of our fund team, and who has also done some extra donation of her time to make sure that all of any owner or resident hosted activities have happened in the midst of COVID.
Thank you, Deb. Good morning, Madam President, members of the HOA Board, and residents of Cypress Woods RV Resort. I appreciate this opportunity to share the Social Committee's annual report with you and with the community. For those of you in the audience who are not aware, the Social Committee serves under the direction of the Cypress Woods RV Resort HOA Board, and our primary role is to assist the Social Activities Director, who oversees all activities and events. We are a self-funding committee, and the funds raised are used to support activities and events that are available to all residents within this community. For the 2019-2020, we were able to donate funds to the Prostate Cancer Research Organization and the Golisano Children's Hospital, and our major purchases last season were for AV equipment. Due to the ongoing pandemic, our 2019-2020 season was cut short, but the events that did occur were simply wonderful. There were 13 events, starting with our annual holiday dinners and dances, which led into more intimate events such as the ladies' tea luncheon, the hilarious horse races, and the talented karaoke highlight show. The 2 major events that took place were the Welcome Back 70s dinner dance and the very memorable Cypress Woods weekend, starting with the Bourbon Street block party that led into the Mardi Gras Gala. Unfortunately, our farewell event was saying goodbye from a social distance without hugs and kisses. To conclude, I'd like to send out a huge thank you first to the HOA board for all the thankless hours you have dedicated to this community. Then to Diane Leffler, our past social director, who as always did a bang-up job, especially during the challenging times. Next, I'd like to send out my appreciation to all the volunteers who hosted such memorable activities and events. And to finish, I would like the 2019-2020 Social Committee members of Nancy Collins, Carol Gorell, Kathy Lemons, Billy Ross, Susie Smith, and Erica Wheeler and Luana Woodward to know that I value all that you have done to support me. Without your support, shoulders to cry on, excuse me, I don't know why. I don't know how I could have made a second term. Again, I deeply appreciate all the dedication, commitment, numerous hours every one of you have given and to continue to give. It does not go unnoticed. Now I'd like to ask our treasurer, Billy Ross, to give the social committee's financial report for the season ending April 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. HOA Board of Directors, on behalf of the Social Committee, we would like to present to you our annual report for the period ending March 31st, 2020. As Linda said, even though our activities were cut short, we still were able to have a profit of over $5,000 at the end of the year. Including in that profit was some donations, the amount of $3,450 from North Trail RV, La Mesa RV, Rock Solid, and Laguna Caribe. And as she said, we were able to make some donations to prostate cancer and Calisano due to donations from our residents, and we thank you for that. We also made a donation to the new flagpole in the amount of $833. Our balance sheet shows assets of $11,726.30 in checking account, $5,000.65 in savings, 178 petty cash, $156.98 due from the HOA, $650 for prepaid expenses, entertainment. Our liabilities were $1,080 for Wear Green, Bring Green vouchers, and $4,575 for farewell vouchers, for a net worth of $12,056.93. Our income statement has a total revenue of $43,305.40, expenses of $44,240.98, for a net loss of $935.58.
Billy, thank you so much for that. There's a lot involved, and while you're there, the community may not be aware of it, but I did want to announce that, I think it was last week, that we had an extra vacant office up at the Welcome Center office, and we have actually relocated the treasurer for social committee as well as the director. There'll still be an office here, but it was getting pretty crowded. If any of you remember, treasurer used to work out of this little corner, but you were surrounded by ping pong tables and everything else, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes they deal with a lot of cash, and we felt it wasn't the safest place to do the treasurer's business. So he's in a secure, alarmed environment now, and so if you're ever looking for Billy or our new social director, whoever that may be, they could be at the Welcome Center also. So thank you for all your hard work. I'm going to call now on John Genovese, as he is the oversight For our Facilities Committee, John, do you have some reports for us, please?
I do. Okay, the Facilities Committee is made up of the committee chair, Steve Nicoli.
Speak to the mic, John.
Like so. There we go. The Facilities Committee is made up of the committee chair, Steve Nicoli, members Gene Cossack, Lloyd Weckenheiser, sorry if I'm murdering these names, Thomas Taylor, and Jim Root. In 2020, they worked on several projects, upgrades to the electrical system for the pool heaters, repairing, replacing damaged pool heaters, replacing old, outdated pool pumps, repairing and upgrading wiring, adding an automated chemical pump. They evaluated a couple of the roofs on a few of the buildings here, and they updated some of the equipment for the large AC unit. All projects that needed some professional input, which is exactly what these gentlemen bring to the table. Already for 2021, we have a few projects on their plate. The pool bathrooms are in dire need of remodeling. The community security, they'll be working with the architectural committee with that, Jim Roop specifically. And then the pool area structures out here, which are built so high that they really don't provide shade for anything, we're going to look into some way of making them more usable. So that's, current projects. So, I want to thank this committee. They bring a lot of knowledge to the park, help us save money.
And yes, you're absolutely right, and it sounds like some good projects, by the way. Everyone's favorite, Mr. Jim Roop, I'm going to ask you to come, or DJ. Are you going to do this, DJ? Oh. If you'll come, one of you or both of you, come to the podium and report on our Architectural Request Committee.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning, Board.
Hey, neighbors.
I'm going to make it short and sweet as I usually do. We had 198 requests this last year. We approved 198. We have 3 that are pending. I think we'll probably get that resolved today. And that's about it.
It's not a simple job. There's a lot of knowledge that has to go into it, a lot of consideration, and I can tell you everyone on that committee understands what has to be done. I did want to update the community, and Pat, if I say the wrong number, or David, if I say the wrong number, houses, okay? We currently have 92 houses, but I do believe, did you say three applications for additional houses? That would take it to 95. We have a cap of 125 houses allowed, or is it July? August of 2022 is when everything freezes. What did you say? Okay. So I just want to give an update to the community. I always get the question, how many houses do we have in here? So they're still coming in.
I had to drive around and actually count because, well, I had a list and I started looking at the list and that's not a house that it says on my house list. So
Right.
That should be pretty accurate now.
Excellent. Okay, and our newest created committee, which is Grounds Committee, David oversees it with John McCormick and Bob Lukes, and I think he's going to give us some information as well.
Sure. Yeah, John McCormick and Bob Lukes, sort of a two-man show there. They put in, I couldn't even tell you how many hours with Newell and separately discussing and modifying and basically rewriting the entire Newell contract. It used to be 2 pages with a little simple table that said, we'll show up 40 times a year and cut your grass and good luck. So they've worked with Newell, added a lot more detail to the contract. I think it should benefit the community really well. You know, we know how we're getting our trees trimmed, the height that the grass needs to be mowed. We have leaf pickups included in all of our heavy leaf drop areas, so between A and C, the fire pit area back behind B, and was it the Surfwood court with all of the trees in it. A lot of new things that were never included before were included this year. And John and Bob also worked with Arrow, the pest control, well, the turf pest control and fertilization company. They worked with them through this whole process, not only trying to get our grass in shape, but the dying palm trees over in D section, where we cut 5 of them down at the direction of the county because they weren't coming back. We believe we found what was causing the deaths. It was a nutrient deficiency, and even though Arrow was hitting it hard with the nutrients, they were too far gone to come back. The 5 remaining should survive, and they're already looking better with the new treatment protocol. And Arrow actually is replacing those trees for the community free of charge. We may have a little bit of finishing cost to fix the curbing and put the little rocks around the base and things, but they'll be putting in 5 new trees for us at roughly the same size as what's there, pretty close to.
What's an estimated cost if we had to replace those?
Would have been about $5,000.
A $5,000 savings on behalf of Arrow, assuming the responsibility that they did not provide the service that you pay for?
Yes.
Okay. Good news.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to go on to the induction of the 2021 board members. Before we do that, it's customary that we ask if there are any nominations from the floor. If so, please come to the podium and announce it. Not hearing any, we will move on. David, we need to have you announce the inspectors of the election, please.
Right, our typical nominating committee consists of Kathy Orris, John Matthew, Gary Schneider, and Bob Strong. This year, there actually was no election needed. Now, even though ballots were sent out via proxy, because there were no nominations from the floor, there actually is no vote and no election, meaning all 3 of the names presented on the proxy form will take their place on the Cypress Woods board.
Excellent. And before we move on, Barb, you would like to have the floor now?
Is this working? Yes. I just wanted to take a minute to, hello? I guess I got to stay right there. I would just like to take a minute to thank everybody in our community for all the support for me during my, actually 7 years, Judy. I was appointed the first year and then elected for 2 3-year terms, and I appreciate all of your confidence in me that you have had. And hopefully I've tried to do the best that I could for the majority of the community. Just thank you for everybody's help, because I had a lot during my time here. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb, and we appreciate what you do. All right. So, David, do we have the announcement of the new board?
Quick thing from our bylaws explaining the board members. It's Article 4, Section 2. The number of directors which shall constitute the entire board of directors shall not be less than 3 nor more than 7. And we have 7. Until of their election or appointment until their successors have been elected at the next annual meeting. We run 3-year terms here. So 3 years for all of the new members. I don't have everyone, all the current members remaining terms in front of me. But the new board members, again, no election needed this year. Steve Hartledge and Judy Lawrence will be coming on the board, and Gary Washburn will be starting another 3-year term as of today.
Excellent. Welcome to everybody. Before we break for the required, what we call organization meeting, where the board will meet to determine who the actual officers are, and that is open to the public, okay? Do we have any unfinished business that we need to discuss? I don't think so. And I don't think we have any new business to discuss. All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, this particular annual meeting is adjourned, but we are going to probably resume in about 15 minutes or less on the second meeting, which is just our monthly board meeting, because we do have 3 items on the agenda that we encourage you to stay tuned for. I need a motion for adjournment, please. Joe, second?
Second.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're back live. All right, the time is 10:54 roughly. We're calling the 2021 board organizational meeting to order. We do have all of our new board members present. I'll do a roll call. Joe Regenstein.
Here.
John Genovese.
Here.
Steve Hartlich.
Here.
Pat Zolo.
Here.
Judy Lawrence.
Here.
Gary Washburn.
Here.
And Dwayne Truitt.
Here.
Okay, the purpose of this meeting is to select officer positions for the 2021 year at Cypress Woods until our next annual and organizational meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to elect Pat Zalo as president of our association, if he should accept.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Hearing none. Yeah. Just one. Pat will be the president.
I nominate Gary Washburn for vice president.
I'll second it.
I guess that's an acceptance.
Are you a no then? No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections besides Gary? No? Perfect.
I'd like to make a motion to ask Steve Hartlich to perform the services of the secretary of this association, if he will.
You can't deny it.
Sure. Well done.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Make a motion that Judy Lawrence be appointed treasurer.
Second.
Any objections? Nope. Very good.
You do the.
Oh, I thought you did that. Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. We got, I believe that's all the positions. So everyone else will be a director on the board of directors. Is there any other business for our annual meeting, or I'm sorry, for our organizational meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned at, we'll call it 10:58 a.m.
I'll just go right into that.
Yep.
Want to call the special board of directors meeting for February 8th, 2021. The very limited agenda. First item on the agenda, we had approved the revised R&Rs, but we had to add a, actually like a disclaimer on the front cover, substantial rewording, see government documents for the text. So I have a motion to re-accept these documents.
I make a motion to re-accept the documents with that wording in place.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Okay, there's, under Act 712, the murder law, we are not required right now to do anything with that other than acknowledge the fact that we don't need to renew our documents because we have till December 30th, 2029. So we'll just make note in the minutes that we did consider it and it's not necessary at this point. Next item, Laguna Crebe has gotten their approval to get started. They're ready to move into the office, I think, this week, Dwayne?
Yes, sir. The lease that we have has us commencing on the 10th, so Wednesday.
So need a motion to sign. I sent the lease out. I think everybody's had a chance to review it, sign the lease, so they can get in there and get started.
Make a motion to approve the lease.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, guys. Lady?
That is,
Thank you.
You're part of the,
Somebody's got to notarize.
Pardon me?
well,
part of the
this
all
does not
boys.
have
I'm
a
not part of the All
notary
Boys Club, okay, I'll
section
take
on
that.
there. That witness form is not, the original 16-page lease
Oh, okay, so just a witness? Okay.
did have a.
Do you have two
notary, but
copies?
I don't know who made this one. I don't
Jack,
have
you
it
wanna say
here,
something?
but We'll make you a copy.
Well, all right, sorry.
Or you can keep the original. I don't, that way it's- If you'd like to have it notarized.
No,
we
no.
could add this
No.
page to the bottom.
We got some situations with the COVID-19, and I know what David said about, not allowed to tell who people are, but we have a lady in the park that tested positive. She will not wear a mask. She's out walking around the park. And that's not right. I don't know what we can do. I approached her and I told her, I said, you are supposed to be quarantined, stay at your house in your lot. She said, I have to walk my dog. And that's not right. Another thing, the people speeding in the park is getting ridiculous. There's people driving through here 40 miles an hour. People with dogs. And I don't have anything against pets, but there's people with dogs that are turning them loose, letting them run. One of them jumped up on my wife, scratched her leg. And the next time it happens, I'm gonna kick that dog right across the park. That is not allowed. And you gotta protect yourself. And people in the picnic area, letting their dogs take a dump in the picnic area and putting it in there where people are able to sit and eat. That is not right. There's plenty of common ground away from the picnic area that they can go. That's something we gotta take into consideration.
Well, Jack, I mean, not only is it an HOA rule, it's county and state rules that people not allowed to let their dogs run loose and are supposed to pick up. I know exactly what you're saying because yesterday morning I was walking my dog down Cypress Woods Drive and somebody must have had a pretty good sized dog and just left it right in the middle of the road.
Yep.
But, I mean, if you see somebody, don't approach them. If you know who it is, just let David or somebody on the board know,
Yeah.
because it is not right.
No,
Please.
it's not right.
Yeah, anything you see, let us know. And, locations and time is really helpful, especially not just the pets, but speeding. We've already had to notify Amazon and FedEx about their drivers speeding through here. Just in the last week or two, one of our residents has a video of them speeding around her in the road, probably 40 miles an hour that we had to send over to Amazon. It was an Amazon truck. But having the exact time and location, that way they can track and see exactly which driver was in Cypress Woods at what time, and they can actually do something about it. So not just, hey, on Tuesday I saw this, but Tuesday, 9:06, roughly AM, that is much more helpful to us for the speeders and, again, for pets and things like that, too. As much detail as possible that you can report, that will help us issue violations and keep some of these speeders out of here.
Also, we've had, some break-ins here lately and people in here stealing. Have we made any progress on considering full-time security?
We haven't as of yet, Jack. I know the police are going through here pretty much a lot at night. One of the problems, there's so many places to hide in here. I mean, it's almost impossible. If you get a full-time security, like roving security, they see a car coming or a golf cart coming, all you gotta do is duck anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to look into some
Cameras?
different options on that, but we really haven't anything yet.
Okay.
So
maybe cameras or something set up where we can,
What?
cameras, maybe?
Well, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cameras in here. I mean, the last time they broke in, I think they must have had, what, 10, 15 people had footage.
Sure.
I mean, I had them, they were in my car. They don't seem to care. I mean, I have security lights that came on. The headlights came on in my car, shined right in my coach window. The guy didn't phase him a bit, still went through the car. The only thing he stole was my eyeglass cleaner spray. But no, cameras are probably the best consideration, but they'd have to be, wireless and around the park somewhere where you can see them. That's the problem.
And we have two committees looking at that right now.
Okay, John said two committees are looking at that right now.
Yeah, it's actually more than that.
Thank you,
So,
Jack. Sorry, I skipped over you.
so Jim Roop and some of his neighborhood watch team did an inspection of the community and identified all the areas that they think may be security risks as far as access or needing light cameras, and made some recommendations to us. We also have the Lee County Sheriff's Office. They will be providing a security inspection of our community. They'll send their security experts, walk the perimeter, look at the front entrance, all of the entry and exit points, areas of low lighting, and they'll make their professional recommendations. And they're just recommendations, but they will tell us what they think is the highest sort of security risks and the things that we can do to mitigate some of that. That should be happening in the next few weeks or so.
Well, one thing that will help is as we are preparing to start our construction in Laguna Carib, hopefully we're underway, by beginning of March right now. We are going to establish security cameras within that construction access area, which is the FPL easement, because that's for the security of our contractor. I mean, they've got equipment that if that disappears, that's a big loss. So we are going to establish some webcams throughout the FPL easement, both to protect ourselves, protect our contractors, and then we'll need to figure out some means of integrating that with the resort's security camera system, and that way it becomes an integrated system.
Well, the perimeter must have some breaches in it because there's a cow back there yesterday.
We had a goat 2 weeks ago also.
Yeah, we had cows and goats. Yeah.
If a cow and a goat can get in, I think these criminals have no problem.
Okay, sorry. I just want to tag on to what Jack was saying about the dog feces, and request that the board look at the purchase of several of those, for lack of a better word, poop stations that could be placed around the park. I've seen them in other parks and in public parks too, where they could be deposited in areas other than the picnic area, trash cans.
With bags.
Yeah, we talked about that when I was on the board last time.
They're gonna like place.
And about putting them in some of the common areas.
Yeah, right.
So we can put those, I mean, if the board agrees to do that, one of the other options, at least temporarily, is maybe signs that tell people not to throw away their, pick up stuff into the trash cans over there, or at any of our pool trash cans. That stuff should go directly into the compactor, not in any of these trash cans that sit out there in the sun.
Yeah, put them in all right, you're going to look into that, right, David?
I can get pricing on the signs today. How many do you think we would want, and in what areas? Any idea roughly? Maybe the corner D85, 86 area, back in C around the Memorial Garden. Not the garden itself, but on the outskirts.
By the Memorial Garden, and also
then,
probably the D circle.
The D circle of Royal Palm.
The one with the oak trees.
I'll get the pricing on them, and we'll find some.
The olive trees, yeah.
Are you talking signs, or are you talking the trash receptacles?
Well, it's all one unit, right? Usually it's a sign, a bag dispenser, and a trash can. So we can identify the areas that we want, but I'll find pricing on those today.
Watch how many bags get stolen.
Oh, they'll be gone. They lock. They make metal locking ones, so you can take them off.
Is on? Oh, Bob Place, D70. Two things that come up every year, both relate to safety. Want to pick up on where Jack left off. One is people walking at night without reflective clothing or lights. It's an issue every year. The other issue is, and we have spring break coming up now, and ourselves included, we're going to have, a lot of people have grandkids coming down. Well, we have grandkids and great-grandkids coming down. But anyway, the issue is young kids, like 8, 9, 10 years old, driving golf carts. And I've seen it already this year. I think we need to put out some kind of a reminder that goes to every lot in the resort. And I'm just wondering, we talked about violations. Is there a way to initiate or prepare some kind of fining system? Because these are liability type things. You know, people, actually a few years ago, I think we had one person who died in the resort because of a car hitting him on a bicycle at night. That's my recollection anyway, but anyway, if there's a way to fine people to get their attention or something, I don't know, but it comes up every year.
I mean, in the ARs that were just passed, we have the golf cart driver age restriction. Children under 14 years of age are not permitted to operate a golf cart within the community.
Yeah, I understand that. But it doesn't get enforced.
Well,
there doesn't seem to be a way to enforce it.
Our old rules did not state that.
I mean, you have to see it to enforce it. It's not.
Well, yeah, true.
I mean, if we see it, it gets enforced, but I
Right.
mean, there is a rule already in place.
Yeah, and I understand that also. But I think it doesn't hurt to send out the reminders and to make sure that everybody's aware of it. I guess I just see it as something tragic going to happen, especially with, 8, 9-year-old kids who really can't even reach the pedal on their golf cart and so on. So I'm just bringing it up to the board because these are issues that come up every year. And we always say we're going to address them and enforce it, but it's hard to enforce. I understand.
Let's just put a web blast out on it.
Huh?
Let's just put an email out.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
there are a lot more children in the park. I think that people are being home from school
Yeah.
because of COVID. We can send out an email blast, remind them that, again, they just did one with the dogs a couple of weeks ago, I remember correctly. We'll send out another one with the carts and dogs, but
And,
that's,
pictures and videos work.
yeah, if you get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
know,
Bob.
that's tough to remember, but just like with the speeding trucks, anything you can get on picture or video, it's irrefutable. You can't deny a video.
I just wanted to tell everybody it's about the cow that Pat was talking about. He came up around the Memorial Circle this weekend, or she. Her name is Maxine. I'm serious, David.
Is it a friend of yours?
Well, it is now. But no, she came up there and she was friendly, but we didn't know where to send her. And the last time that we had cows in there and the sheriff's department was called, he came with the sheriff's department trailer and everything. And he was really kind of rude to the people that evidently owned it and said, if it happens again, you're going to pay a fine to get these cows out of here, blah, blah, blah. So that's all I could think about whenever I saw this poor cow there by herself. So Jennifer Miller and I, my neighbor, we jumped on the golf cart, went over to the farm that was back behind us and found the owner of the cow.
it is a pet of his grandchildren, but also a horse that is in a little pen over there. They're partners together. So this horse was whinnying for the cow because the cow was separated from her. The man went through the woods, his buddies and everybody went through the woods trying to find her because he tried to get her with a pail of food to take her out of there. Well, as soon as she saw the rope, she backed up and ran off. But anyway, I just want to say, if any of you see Maxine in our resort, I do have Fred's phone number to call and try to come and get her back home. Thanks.
Barb, did she leave any fertilizer in the memorial circle?
No, I didn't see a
she's
bit.
potty trained.
She's potty trained.
Barb, I'd like to know the name of the goat that was behind our place.
What was that? What, Gary?
The goat.
Oh.
Yeah.
But anyway, the horse was trying to get out to get to her, so you may see both one day, but I've got Fred's number if you need to call him.
Thanks, Barb. Anyone else? Okay, then we are adjourned.